Here are today's top 6 crypto stories. Bitcoin took 80,000 back, the ETF machine hit day 8, and the whole market squared up for the Fed chair's first word from Jackson Hole. 1. On Thursday, Bitcoin rose almost 3% and closed at $80,246. That is the reclaim. 2 days after the third rejection at the $81,000 wall sent price back to 78.5, the market walked straight back up to the line for run number 4. And this time it moved with the whole tape. The Nasdaq rose more than 1% on Nvidia's blowout quarter. The VIX, the market's fear gauge, was crushed to 14.5. Every piece of the standoff we have tracked all week held its position. The 3 institutional short books stayed open at the latest on chain read. The ETF bid logged its 8th straight day. Nothing about the fight changed except the price, which came all the way back to the wall. And the referee carries Friday's date. Kevin Warsh's first Jackson Hole speech as Fed chair, the most scrutinized debut a central banker has made in years, with roughly a third of bond traders pricing a September rate hike into it. That is the scheduled information both sides of this standoff positioned for all week. 4 runs at one wall in 5 days. The market keeps paying to ask the same question, and the tiebreaker carries Friday's date. 2. The machine under the market. Spot Bitcoin ETFs added $232 million on Wednesday, their 8th straight green day, about $2.8 billion over the run. August is past $3 billion, and here is the milestone hiding in the table. With 3 sessions left in the month, roughly 160 million more makes this the biggest inflow month these funds have ever printed, passing October of last year. Assets sit near 99 billion. The wall keeps getting bought at record pace. 3. The other side of the wall, the 3 institutional books, Abraxas Capital, Wintermute, and Fasanara, are still short about 138,000 Ether and 3,400 Bitcoin on Hyperliquid, entered against Bitcoin from as low as 65,000. Wednesday's dip gave them room to breathe. Thursday's close took it back. At 80,000, price sits near the worst marks of their week. These desks do not get liquidated. They just get charged rent daily for a thesis the tape keeps rejecting. 4. Ether is testing $2,500, up around 30% in a month, still ahead of Bitcoin's run. Its funds match the Bitcoin streak at 8 straight days, 192 million on Wednesday alone, over $1 billion for the run, 1 warning light. The daily relative strength index reads near 80. The most stretched this chart has been all month. The outperformer is now also the most crowded room in the building. 5. The flow story stopped being a Bitcoin story. Wednesday's fund table shows XRP taking $28 million, Hyperliquid's hype $15 million, and Solana $9 million, all in one session. A year ago, none of these products existed. Now the altcoin undercard prints 8 figures on an ordinary Wednesday, and the money arrives on schedule whether the headlines cover it or not. 6. Sentiment into the speech. The fear and greed index cooled from the high 70s to the mid 60s this week, while price recovered to the wall. That gap matters. It means the recovery ran on flows, not froth. A hawkish surprise finds less euphoria to burn. A patient Fed finds fuel that has not been spent. Either way, the gauge blinked before the market did. 8 days of inflows, a reclaimed 80,000, and a Fed chair's first Jackson Hole speech on Friday's calendar. That is crypto today. Here is today's question for you. If the standoff at the wall was always waiting on the Fed, then what was the last week of trading? Price discovery or just a countdown? Tell me in the comments. I read them, and the best answer usually comes from one of you. Blue pill, the bid never left. 8 straight days of inflows at record monthly pace, leverage at record lows, and sentiment already cooled. That is a market coiled under 81,000, waiting for permission. Red pill. A third of the bond market walked into that speech expecting a hike. The wall held 3 times because the smartest balance sheets in the market quietly agree with them. $58 million of losses has not made the shorts close. Ask yourself what they know about patience that you do not. The timeline keeps moving. We will see you in the next one.